Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Yap Sesh. Today we are going to be discussing 4.2 of Honkai Star Rail and what I thought about the story, events, characters, and the like. For those of you who are keeping track, we are still a full version behind, but we are slowly but surely catching up. To kick things off, the two new characters that ran this version were Silverwolf level 999 and Evanescia in that order. Both characters are Elation and are featured in the story quest, obviously. I was most excited for Silverwolf because she has that OG character bias between the two of them. But yeah, I did really love her new design, so I was very excited. Unfortunately, I did lose 50-50 on her, but that did mean that I got Evanescia guaranteed almost immediately, which was a good thing because I did want to have an Elation team, and after missing both Sparksy and Silverwolf, I was feeling like I was missing out on having a viable team comp. There were a lot of events this update because of the anniversary, but the main event for the version was the Cosmicon Roll-On event, which I have to say I was not the biggest fan of. I didn't really find there to be enough strategy or involvement in the game to make it fun or challenging. I found it to be really tedious and something I just wanted to get done as quickly as possible just to get the pulls so I could be done with it. Most of the other events and interactive material were just kind of clickables or they were auto play. But I did really enjoy getting my yearly letter. I chose fine on this year, and I really like the Trailblazer report card as always. There's something oddly satisfying about being told I logged in almost every day this year. Satisfying and perhaps a little sad. There was one other big event for the anniversary, which was an idle combat event that I forgot to take footage of and seems to not be a permanent event because I can't find it again to get footage of it. And while again, the event itself was pretty boring because it was an idle event, it did include one of my favorite HSR tracks to date, which is called Interstellar Journey. I swear, I had the song stuck in my head for days, and it took me a good 30 minutes of searching to find what the track was called so I could add it to my playlists. I do have to say, I'm really hoping, I haven't played any of the events for 4.3 yet, despite it being quite a few days since it started. But I do have to say, I'm really hoping that it's an actual, active event and not an idle event, because I'm getting really sick and tired of all of the idle events. I just want one with a good story. Please and thank you. But, yeah, speaking of story, what I really want to talk about during this video is the story update for 4.2. So let's get right into it. I have to say that the first thing I noticed about 4.2 was how short the story update felt. I haven't actually looked up how many hours total the main quest for this update was, but I felt like I moved through it very quickly once I actually started it. Now, whether it was actually abnormally short or Amphorius just did so much to acclimate me to very long quest updates, I'm not sure, because like I said, I haven't looked up how long it actually is. But I do have to say, I really liked the kind of fast-paced, snappy nature of the quest. It really had this effect of leaving me on the edge of my seat. I do think that 4.2 definitely took a decisive turn into what almost felt like a horror-like setting, which I really enjoyed. The quest starts off pretty much picking up right where 4.1 left off, with the Express crew and company looking into investigating Full Wish and the Society of Happy Smiles. Because we're still trying to save face after some accusations following the events of 4.1, the Express crew agrees to come to the Full Wish TV headquarters along with the other supplicants for what is framed as just a friendly debate, which quickly descends into a horror show. We learned in the last update about the surgery the Society of Happy Smiles goes through that allows them to always be happy and never feel pain, which in actuality is the implantation of Shuhu's cells into the person. All of this was done and facilitated by Full Wish, who, after the Herald of Death incident 15 years ago, was helped by those around her who were secretly using her in order to raise ratings of their TV show. The breakdown she suffered upon learning that their help wasn't genuine led her to receiving her fool's mask and the eventual implantation of Shuhu's cells into her own body. The cells in, I believe, 200,000 people led them to being converted into these mindless beasts who could not die no matter how many times we struck them down. Honestly, running through the Full Wish TV tower with everyone while being chased by these undying abominations of abundance was such whiplash from the slower build-up-esque updates of the last two versions. Thankfully, with the help of Ashvale, Blade, Sunday, Dan Heng, and Silverwolf, who is now in her final form after speaking to Mr. Meanie, the sentient smiley face, who is actually a Lord Ravager of Destruction, we are able to return all of the abominations of abundance back to normal, but not before Full Wish sets the Astral Express up to be framed for all of the troubles befalling Plan Arcadia. While facing Full Wish, we also do gain access to the Path of Elation after a near-death experience, and I have to say that I don't know if it's just because we've unlocked so many paths by now, and there's only so many ways to make it interesting, but I didn't really feel the same level of excitement that I normally feel when the Trailblazer unlocks new powers. I'm not sure if it was caused by feeling like the quest was very compressed, which I did mention it felt very short, or if it was just like the whiplash of diving right into what felt like a survival horror game after the abundance abominations got awakened. But for whatever reason, it just did not resonate with me as much as normal. I do really like the Elation kit though, and I am really excited to finally get to build my Elation team because I did not pre-unlock Elation Trailblazer because I wanted to wait until I saw the Awakening before I saw the new movesets. I honestly, this is just a me thing, and I don't, expect them to change it, and I know, other people probably really like it, but I honestly don't really like that they let you pre-unlock the new paths, because I'm pretty sure they let you do that for Remembrance as well. I kind of wish that they would... it's not really fair to the people who are, behind, and, people who are starting. So it's, I get it from that standpoint, but I kind of wish that it was, locked until you got it in the story, just because I think that it, is more hype that way. I understand why they do it the way they do, especially, for new players and everything, because it wouldn't be fair to them to, not have access to, the stronger Trailblazers just because they just started the game. But I think that, by waiting until you get it in the story, if you have the means to do so, it's way cooler. So I like waiting, and I will always do so, but I'm glad that for those who don't want to wait, they have the option to unlock it right away as well. Evanescia is also present during the entire quest, and I do really like the juxtaposition of both her more whimsical personality along with her very serious role as the Phantasmoon referee, who is undying and has heavy ties to the abundance. I think while both her and Silverwolf received enough spotlight to sell their characters, both of them have such heavy ties with so many different characters and factions that I only feel like we've touched the tip of the iceberg with who exactly they are and what exactly they're capable of, especially so for Evanescia. I am very excited to move into 4.3 with the introduction of Mortonak's Blade and see the continuation of how all these big name characters continue to play off each other. And I'm especially excited to see how the Astral Express moves forward in the face of the sheer amount of accusations Full Wish threw their way prior to her death, and honestly, even the fallout of her death itself. It seems the 4.3 update isn't too long either, just based off the achievements I'm looking at, so I'm excited to be able to report back soon. But yeah, that has been kind of my mini yap on Honkai Star Rail version 4.2. Hopefully 4.3 has stronger main event game, but other than that, there are no complaints, and I'm excited to press on. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you on the next one.